Oh, yeah. So, obviously, we were all kids before, right? We went through the horrible experience that was high school. The mid experience that was middle school, and I don't even remember half the fucking things, or like 75% of the things in elementary school. I mean, I remember like shitting my pants once. I mean, I don't even fucking know. It just sort of happened. I just shat my pants. But whatever. Anyway, we've been through, like, I'm assuming this is, like, we're talking kids. So I'm assuming, yeah, elementary school going into middle school, kind of within that. Apparently, 40% of kids can't read, and teachers are quitting. I'm gonna say this is an odd frame. I'm gonna say this is probably because AI is a thing. When I grew up, when we had Google, we had Math Wolf, we had all these programs that, let's be honest, people used to cheat on math homework. Like, and homework pissed me off, right? It's like they demand, what, 8 fucking hours of your life? Then they have the fucking gall to send you home with work. It's like, what? Can you not do the fucking job at school? Yeah. I know, like, oh, you gotta do this because whatever. I don't give a fuck. If you can't teach me sitting in your class, maybe you're the problem. Fucking hated homework. And again, as an adult, well, you work, and then most of the people, like, I guess some adults, they take their work home, but a vast majority don't. Like, when they go home, you have other fucking responsibilities to deal with. As a kid, like, sometimes you have other responsibilities, like there's extracurricular things. And if you don't, hell, I think you're allowed to fucking sit and fucking play games if you got nothing. Like, you're a fucking child. You're a fucking stupid ass child. Like, well, what do you want from me? And this is how I thought when I was a child. I was like, well, I'm already at a disadvantage. You don't fucking care what I gotta say. Well, what do you want from me? But anyway, I mean, again, with the advent of AI, it's like you can have AI do it again. These programs, like, they can do these things for you. And in the corporate environment, you're taught to work efficiently and use whatever tools you can to do the job and make money. Like, with the exception of like 3 classes, there's few classes that teaches you as a child how to make money. It's like they're teaching you how to learn. Well, you're going to be doing that your entire life. Like, your entire life, you're going to be learning things, even if you fail or fall short. That's a learning experience. Even if you suffer, that's also a learning experience, and you overcome that. Like, this idea that we need a bureaucracy for this to happen, a bureaucracy of Karens to teach our children, that doesn't really achieve its goal, but will never be accountable if things like this are happening. Like, how does the Amish do it, right? Like, how does every other country on the planet teach their kids? And again, consult with them, then come back and we can consult what we found. Because it seems to be able to happen, and I don't know how, but it seems to be able to happen. So maybe we should understand that. And I think, at least nowadays, this is why kids are just like falling short, because they're not being taught for the future, and this is the point of school, is to teach kids to adapt to the work environment and, you know, the life and the future that they're going to inherit. But that doesn't seem to be what's happening. And kids are naturally doing this themselves. Like, yeah, they have, you know, Chat GPT and fucking smartphones. Fuck, there's 15, 16, 17-year-olds making money on Roblox, sitting on their ass playing games. Right? If my kid's making money at that age, I think I've succeeded as a parent. It doesn't really matter what it is. But let's get this started. I could talk all day about this, but let's just...
A fourth grader asked their teacher...
I always fucking do. Well, let's just get this fucking video started. If I go on a 10-hour rant.
Teacher, why do I need to learn how to read if AI can read for me?
Yeah,
Right now, 40% of fourth graders can't read. We're witnessing the collapse of the...
And maybe it's a bit over exaggeration, because, okay, what's reading? Well, the act of reading is taking in the information you've learned. But if the information you've learned doesn't benefit you, or if you don't care, like, I can read words, but if I don't care the subject, you know, I'll learn enough just to pass. But that's it. Like, that's all. Then I had this discussion with the teacher. I was like, look, right? I'm gonna do what you ask of me. I'm gonna do what's needed to pass this fucking test. And then I'm gonna just forget all this. You know, I had a lot of confrontations with some teachers. I mean, I guess I was maybe an autistic child, but I learned this and I was like, well, okay, I'm going to do what I need to do to pass this class, then I'm going to move the fuck on, and I'd get yelled at. I guess I challenged the authority or some shit. But, I mean, this is probably the case. They're just not taking in the information.
Education system.
I teach 8th grade history, and I have 110-ish students. 2 of them are reading on grade level right now. 18 of them are at a kindergarten level. 55 of those students are between a 2nd and 4th grade level. We were doing guided notes, supposed to be a real easy day. It was review. They wrote down Maryland was founded as a safe haven for Catholics. It was on the board. They wrote it down. And before we moved on, I call on a student and I ask, hey, where were the Catholics one more time? And these students, what they do is they look at me, and then they look at their notes, and then they look at the board. They look back at their notes. And some of them never answered me. They never figured out the answer.
Well, you're trying to, I guess they're team taught repetition, right? Or to repeat the information ad nauseum. But as a child, you don't... But, bro, as a child, I just wanted to play video games. Like, this is where I can denote all my real-world knowledge and understanding to a video game I've played, like World of Warcraft, or like how people act in real world to strategy games. And this may sound stupid, but it was the way that I could filter it through my mind and be like, okay, no, that makes sense, right? Like, they're being taught some abstract type of information that does not benefit them, period. Like, what type of, like, where can they apply that as an adult to make money? 'Cause I don't know. And the students, they're probably like, oh, I mean, I can just chat GPT can tell me this. Why are you wasting our time teaching us this in class? I don't know. Like I probably thought differently as a fucking child. I just
It was
move on.
wild. And I kept giving them hints, like rephrasing the question and saying, like, it's in your notes. We just wrote it down. We just wrote it down. Where are the Catholics? It's on the board. And they never got it. They can't read their own notes. Not, and I don't mean their handwriting. I mean, like, they can't make heads or tails of it on the page. These kids have a frightening ability for information to go from their eyes to their hands and not pass through the brain at all. What do we do?
Yeah, they're just you're teaching them to just write information, but you're not giving them like an abstract way of retaining it, right? I mean, I feel like this is probably what's going on. I mean, teachers have always, at least when I grew up, taught us ways of understanding information, like PEMDAS, like for math. Like there's a game me and a friend played that it's one of those games made in RPG Maker. But part of the game was like puzzles type shit. There's a like turn-based combat, but there's a puzzle. And I remember PEMDAS because that was one of the things that I applied and I was correct in answering the question. Because we had a teacher that explained it to us in a way to where we can retain that information. And we didn't have, like, Chat GPT. I would fucking wish I had Chat GPT, bro, when I was a child. I wish I had this shit. No, we had a goofy little fucking... I don't even think we had anything in goddamn middle school. But, I mean, we had a computer at home. I mean, I don't know, was it middle school? Play fucking Urban Rivals? But whatever, this is 8th grade. Like, in 8th grade, I don't remember half the shit I did in 8th grade. I mean, at all.
Oh, that ship is sailing across the ocean and there is no one at the wheel.
What she described is terrifying. The information goes through their eyes, down through their hands, without passing through their brains. But this isn't an isolated incident. This is nationwide. I looked up the actual numbers. Only 23% of fourth graders can read at a proficient.
23? I mean, yeah, that's a drop, but again, the things you learned at 1992 are a completely different way of learning. And you had a completely different array of tools. It was a completely different environment. Like, I believe this simply because of technology.
Level, just 23%. Then we have the 8th graders, only 26% are reading proficiently. After all the reforms, adding technology into the classrooms, and debating about funding, we're now at 40%.
Yeah, because you add technology, and again, human beings, we have this way, like this way of thinking, right? Where we use tools and we use things to solve problems. This is what kids are doing. Like, they're using the tools available to solve the problem and to solve these things that, again, in my opinion, you're not really going to take into being an adult. Like, obviously, the basic information, like basic math, right? But even then, I mean, there's tools to even deal with that. I mean, I feel like what you should be being taught is how to achieve a goal, and taught at abstract ways of retaining information that's important. One, having important information, but being taught ways of how to retain it before teaching some as goofy fucking Catholics in Maryland. Like, that's not going to benefit them.
It didn't get better. We made it worse.
I've been teaching since 1993. And yes, we have always had kids who struggle to focus.
Yeah.
But what's happening now is on a whole other level. Do you remember how it used to feel when the teacher would pull out the cart with the big TV and the VCR attached? Yeah, not anymore. Now I've got kids asking to skip it. They literally can't just sit and watch.
I'm a 90s kid.
And that's the thing, right? I'm a 90, I guess I was born 1994, 6, whatever. And like, I'd get in trouble for just sitting and watching and sitting on my game. Like, I'd be taking in the information, then I get fucking called on. And I'm like, oh god, fuck. Why you gotta call me teacher, bro? Like, I just sit and fucking play my goddamn game, bro. But fucking, like, me and another kid was playing goddamn Pokemon. And I was social studies. Passed that shit with a B. Right? Fucking Pokemon battle with each other. Right? It's like... And I had a point, but I completely lost it. It's like, you also gotta understand that some kids are just dumb. It's like, not every child is going to retain information or gonna, one, even care, two, do so in a reason. Like, there's so many, like, problem kids where the system simply just does not work, and they cause problems for everybody else, and now everyone else has to fucking deal with it because, like, the top 3-4% of kids that don't care and just want to cause problems, right? Like, how many times, like, places have you been or systems have you been in where the top 2 or 3% just cause problems for everybody else? And I was that kid, I was like, oh, god damn it, what the fuck do I have to, what goddamn dialogue option do I have to say here? It was at the time fucking, what was this, Skyrim came out, 2011. I was in, was it not 9th grade? I think. I was a freshman. I was like, oh god, what dialogue strain can I say to get this fucking idiot away from me? God damn it. And it's like, yeah, I mean, if you had that system where, kids don't think like me, but they're just legitimately suffering because just kids that just don't care. And again, if there's this thing called social contagion, because so now one kid doesn't care, and now 3 kids don't care, and now 10 kids don't care, and now the whole fucking class doesn't care. I mean, you're going to get situations like these.
So I know exactly what she's talking about. When that rinky-dink TV rolled into the classroom, that was the best day ever. But today's kids are overstimulated. TV is not cutting it. When we were growing up, they said we watched too many cartoons. Now kids don't even want cartoons. It's not enough stimulation. They get bored. Kids today are growing up watching Cocomelon and YouTube Shorts, content that's meant to hold attention for seconds at a time.
Yeah. Whoa. I mean, man, like, we had stupid kid shit. I don't give a fuck about that, bro. Like, we had stupid kid shit when we were growing up. Let stupid kid shit do stupid kid things. But it's like, I mean, we were active when we were young. Like, we had a place to release all that, story, because kids get, like, they're very fucking energetic, and it's got so goddamn annoying. I was probably this kid too. I was probably cringe like this. Kids are just energetic little shits. And if they can't join together with other kids in an environment where they can run around and be kids, they're going to have all that energy, right? Where they can just play around. Like, this is why, like, you'd go to your big family and the kids are just running around, or your church, and the kids are just running and playing around, and the adults would let them because it's what kids do. It's what they gotta do, right? You can't just force a fucking child to just sit. Now, obviously, to an extent, you don't want them, like, getting, like, roughhousing too much, getting themselves hurt. But, there's this gaze you have to, manage, you as the adult, that is just not happening right now. Right now, kids just being given tablets and, I don't know, just being told to fucking watch shit while their parents can fucking go off and relax. And even I, as someone who was that kid that just wanted to sit and play games, even I find that to be troubling.
And now we're asking them to sit in a classroom for hours with no screens and no stimulation. Of course, they're going to roam around yelling 6, 7. They're having withdrawal symptoms.
Honey, teaching kids isn't the same anymore. It's just not. Used to be kids would listen to teachers simply because they were teachers. That was the respect of it all. Now, no, honey. I got to keep the kids constantly engaged. Not even just engaged, but almost overstimulated. The candy isn't even working anymore. Giving out candy for positive reinforcement isn't even working. They don't care about that. Girl, I'm using chimpanzini bananini just to get my kids' attention, just so they'll look at me. Hello, hello. Girl, bye.
Like, if you're just using manipulative tactics to try to get the kids' attention, if you're trying to manipulate the child, okay, that might work for a little bit, but then kids grow immune to that. Like, you use the candy. I mean, the candy would work for me. You whip out that stupid fucking doll, I think there's something wrong with you. But if you're going to use these manipulative tactics instead of imposing authority, yeah, you're going to have these situations. Like, that's kind of the thing, at least with young guys. You need a teacher that can demand authority if need be. Like, everyone knows that one teacher that didn't take anyone's bullshit, right? And even the problem children, like the child that would, and with other teachers, because again, kids are crafty. Kids know which teacher to walk all over and which teachers not to. I mean, like, this is part of the learning. Like, you're in the system, you're learning how to use the system to your advantage, right? Like, and there's always that one teacher, where regardless of what type of child it was, whether it's the problem child or not, when they enter that classroom, they say, yes, sir, no, sir, because that teacher imposes authority. And this is what ROTC did for me freshman year before it moved, right? You had a drill sergeant, right, that imposed that authority, imposed that discipline. You know what? This is probably what needs to happen. Like, any type of person who was in the military, regardless of rank, I don't care. If they really need a job, they should have some guaranteed position as a teacher for, like, ROTC or JRTC. And, make it voluntary for a little bit, but if there's kids causing a problem, put them in put them in this class, and you will see how they deal with unruly people, and the tactics they use. And I guarantee you that kid will turn around. Fucking stupid dog.
I got kids saying 6-7 repeatedly. They don't even know how to spell 6-7. Catching me doing this mid-lecture, just to see if they're paying attention. You watching? Hello, we there? Girl, it's so bad now. It's so bad.
TVs don't work. Candy isn't working. The only thing that grabs their attention is TikTok memes.
And I mean, fuck. Again, I think blaming the parent thing is it's a very wishy-washy thing, but usually if they're getting this at home, like, I mean, if you ever grew up in a black family, you'd be glad, like, you're afraid of what your parent would do if you fucked around in school. Like, the teacher, yeah, sure, whatever, they'll say whatever the fuck they want. But I'd be, oh god, I gotta deal with my fucking goat of a mother. I'm just kidding.
Chimpanzini bananini.
What
Wah,
the
wah,
fuck?
wah. Bananucci, monkey, uchi. Or chimpanzee.
No, the things they got. Our shit was better. Our brain rot was better. Their brain rot, shit. I fucking hate. Like, I'm starting to understand how the generation before us feels about ours. Right? Nah, I kind of understand.
Cini, cocosini. Wah, wah, wah. Boop, boop, bada bim.
What the fuck is
Coconucci,
this?
monkey, uchi.
Despite these apps requiring users to be 13, kids are on them way earlier. One study found that a quarter of kids aged 11 to 15 said they use social media to forget about their problems. 17% said they tried to cut back but couldn't. These kids are describing addiction. Gen Z was the first generation to grow up on social media, and they're the most anxious, most depressed, loneliest generation on record. And now
Well, I guess growing up, do I consider elementary school? Well, I guess it, to an extent it is, but like it's middle school and high school where you truly start to develop, right, at a degree and to an extent to where you can go out into the, understand things around you. And in that sense, I feel like millennials had that. I mean, a lot of the things I learned from, like, Norse mythology, I learned from fucking playing Age of Mythology on my computer. That's neither here nor there. But I guess if literally out the womb, like you're 3 years old and you got that iPad, and it's like, okay, you want your kid to interact with other kids, but they're on their iPads too. They're on their parents' iPads. There's no kids at parks playing around. There's no kids walking around neighborhoods playing. I mean, it's like, okay, so what is your kid going to do? And I feel like, well, this is why having brothers and sisters, multiple kids, is a good thing. But kids kind of do want to branch out so that it's healthy to have them interact with other children in their community. And I mean, if they can't do that, I feel like that's a problem. Bro, imagine being born in, like, 2022. Like, brother, you missed the entire event. Like, bro, like, you missed the entire fucking story. You are goofy and dumb. Like, for fuck's sakes. You're at a disadvantage. Like, you literally missed everything. And it's not your fault, but you should still be ashamed.
Now Gen Alpha isn't just growing up on social media, they also have generative AI.
Okay, this is becoming a genuinely concerning issue. As a substitute teacher, I am encountering a really concerning number of students who truly do not see any value in learning because...
Are we noticing a trend? Are there any male teachers that want to give an account to this? Or I fucking smacked that cord. Are we still going? Or is it just middle-aged women? I swear I'm not being sexist here. I swear. Okay, that was like an older lady. I mean, again, as a teacher, it is your job. But, I mean, again, we all know the good teachers, the bad teachers, the good classes, the bad classes, the boring classes, the easy classes, the cool teacher. Like, again, I guess we were just clever because we could pinpoint these things and be like, okay, this is the cool teacher, right? This teacher is a fucking doormat. Okay, let's not fuck with this teacher. Let's not do that. But I guess in this case, all of these teachers are kind of despondent. Like they're not really they're not thinking up specific methods their own way on how to get kids to teach. They're using the manipulative tactics that the kids have already are inundated with from social media, trying to grab that and be like, hey, look, 6'7", oh, you're paying attention? It's like, a kid can tell when they're being manipulated, or at least I could. What the fuck is that? Okay, that's a bottle cap. Like, I could tell if I was getting manipulated. Now I'm like, okay, really? We doing this? I didn't have a lot of friends in school, I can tell you that. I was the type of kid that acted weird to keep people the fuck away from me, and it fucking worked. And I'd do it again. But I feel like they're using these tactics. And again, she's taken to social media. She has a fuck ton of comments and shit and going live talking about these things. I mean, so the adults are using technology. I mean, this is enough to actually make a career on Instagram, right? I'm assuming this is Instagram or Facebook. Like, enough likes and shit. Like, are the kids not allowed to use these tools? Because you're using these tools. And they'll probably see you use these tools when they grow up.
Because as one of the 4th and 5th graders that I was teaching the other day asked me, why do I need to know any of this if a computer or AI can do it for me? A little girl didn't...
Do you have an answer to this? Because if the answer is no, then there's the issue. The issue is, unfortunately, the child is correct. But you don't want to tell them this because you're the teacher and you need to impose authority. And I, as a child, understood this. I'm talking to a teacher. They are an authority figure and they're going to try to impose that. So I have to craft my argument in a way for them to, okay, understand. I'd be like, I'm getting this information, right, that I'll use in order to pass this class and probably never again. But there are real world things. There are things that I will need to learn and that will benefit me that I can learn from an AI or a computer. So, what does she say, like algebra or math? It's like, what's the point of long division? Or like learning endless strains of division? If I can offload this to an AI, to a computer, and just learn things that will benefit me. Okay, maybe I wouldn't have talked that way in 5th grade. In 5th grade, I probably, I didn't fucking care. I don't know, I was in the speech class, so I couldn't say my R's. Ers. Like, I was told to do it is to have the back of your tongue go but I never do that. I have the front of my tongue go and it sounded the same way. And that right there was when I was like, this curriculum, okay, that, when I say curriculum, it was at the back of my tongue. But robot, I say with the rolling the front of my tongue up. And that was when I understood, why the fuck am I here? The book's telling me one thing and I've circumvented another thing to get my R's right. Why am I here? Like, now that I'm thinking about it, it's the back of my fucking tongue. And I'm doing it. But all the other times it'd be the front. And I'd use that and circumvent it. But that's when I figured out, okay, this is interesting. Obviously I made enough to pass, whatever. But again, back to like the problem is they're coming at you with these questions. I don't think you have an answer. Little girl didn't
want to learn how to read, because why would she need to when she could have the computer read it to her, or when she could just take a picture of her math problem and have the AI do it for her? This is a legitimate issue.
Children do not have fully developed reasoning abilities. Their brains just aren't developed. We can just take a look at...
But kids are not dumb. They're not like animals. It's not like they're incapable of understanding the world around them, how to interact with it, understand tools and systems. They're just, okay, they're just not developed the way an adult is, but after like the first couple of years, I mean, it's, again, if you want to treat a child like they're dumb, sure. And in some cases, I agree with you. But, again, I think that what's happening is there's just a system that would rather do things the easy way instead of doing it the way that benefits the child. And that's kind of why the whole education thing got completely removed, because the point of the Bureau of Education was to protect the system, not really to do the job. And because of that, you're kind of now slumming it the good old-fashioned way. And again, AI and all these tools are being done, are existing, but kids are not being allowed to use and understand these tools, and instead, you're not teaching them how to use these tools in a way that's beneficial and that's useful above, the learning process. I think that's what's happening here.
The subreddit Kids Are Stupid to see proof that kids do not think long term. They don't have the mental capacity to fully think through their actions.
This kid probably wanted a fucking toy. He's like, I want a toy, so I'm instead of playing this stupid ass game. What is this stupid ass game? I'm gonna go in there and just grab one out. This kid's not stupid. He had a fucking goal. Okay, maybe he didn't know the ins and outs, of the machine. Hell, I didn't fucking know. Apparently, there's like certain like things that can determine probability of the grappling thing dropping or grabbing an item. There's a lot of people that would break machines like these to figure it out. And obviously they'd get kicked out because, the point, this is effectively gotcha gambling before it was a thing.
So how is a teacher supposed to convince a student to learn how to read when that student believes that the AI can just read for them? How do they convince them to learn to write when they can talk to ChatGPT and it'll write for them? Spelling, why bother? Grammar, who cares? History, civics, critical thinking, the AI has all the answers. And
Again, so what you need to do is you need to guide kids through this world and be like, look, this is a tool. If you use it just for straight answers, you're not going to benefit. But if you use it as a tool, you'll benefit. Like, for example, a lot of questions I asked, like, I went to every source I possibly could in making a video game. And ChatGPT was one of them. About the hiring process and all of that, because I didn't fucking know. I went to every search history, and this was like 2020 something when it was relatively new. I didn't fucking know. I Googled it, did all of that, went to fucking YouTube, got a shit ton of just fluff. But then I went to ChatGPT, and okay, it walked me step by step through, the hiring process, contractors, the type of people you want, like what engines you gotta use, what you gotta do to make a business, right? And this was before I even made the business. Like, this isn't being used on my product. This is just, AI was new and I was curious. This is how most people act with new technology. It's a curiosity. But a lot of it was like, okay, so you need a game designer, you need a story writer, right? You need like game designer, storyteller, story writer. I think there's like 2 more positions, and these positions, if for a company, would go anywhere for 5 positions, anywhere between 50 grand per person to like 100, 200 grand. What I found out was I can do the job of these 5 people just myself. And I don't know, hire artists, an animator, a 3D modeler, a programmer, and completely cut the cost, right, by like what, 80, 90%. So again, I just use the ChatGPT as just a tool. It didn't take the reins. It was just there. I tried every other thing, and I guess I'm just dumb. Well, not really dumb, but getting inundated by Google, by Bing, by Microsoft Edge with just information, it makes my brain go. I need a step-by-step walkthrough of the things I can do. And when I can understand that, then from there, I can be like, okay, what information can I use and what information can I discard? And I think that's how you have to teach the younger generation, because these tools are not going away. And adults are using these tools already. So it's like, you don't want them to use the tools. You don't want them to use, the AI or computer or things to get through, again, classes that they will not benefit from, but the adults can do. It's like, what do you want kids to just be not be prepared for the world they're going into? You want them to be manipulated, right? Not be able to adapt. Because again, the school we grew up, like the classrooms in the school environment we grew up in doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. And the class environment like the boomer grew up in doesn't exist. Like, it's a completely different environment, and what you need to do is to adapt. And if you can adapt, then there you fucking go.
The child sees as a path of least resistance. They don't understand that to struggle is to learn and to grow.
What are you doing?
Dropping tape.
I know.
But a kid can't comprehend that. Again, you're arguing as, okay, you're describing this as if you're describing it to another adult, right? I mean, if you're just some random person that's just describing it to this kid, they're going to be like, what is this woman? Like, if you have the parent does it, okay, maybe it convey the information a different way because it's their parent. But you, just some random woman online, it's like, what the hell? Like, if I was a child, I'd be like, what the hell is this woman talking about, bro? Can I please just get back to Halo 3? Like, get this woman out of my fucking face. Learn and fucking grow.
Oh, but what are you doing?
I'm doing.
I mean, I'm not insulting her, but I mean, I don't understand. Like, I it's not that I disagree. It's just I don't think I do not believe the conclusion we will reach from this will be adequate. I think there's just a lot of like emotional like messaging and just completely. I don't think we're gonna reach the same conclusion here.
I'm doing school.
You're doing school on ChatGPT.
Mhm.
How old are you?
3.
And what are these children?
Like, I'd have my child on the computer as quickly as humanly fucking possible. Like, okay, this is a tool that you can use to benefit you to get ahead of the other children. You might find some things on there that you don't fucking understand. If you have a problem with that, ask me. Like, well, okay. What I'd do is I don't know, install. It's so easy to spawn your fucking child like a malware or some shit that you can see whatever the child sees. You can see if they're online. And if you want, you can lock them out of their fucking phone. Like, I get it. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, you never give my child, something fucking computer. It's like, you know, at some point, you gotta have them experience these things on their own and not live under a rock. I mean, if they live under a rock, again, it's like they'll be taken advantage of by people who do utilize technology and will get an edge over them. And this whole, my kid learn from the good old-fashioned way. It's like, okay, do you think a business really cares about that? Or are they going to go for the kid that uses every tool, have every connection, because he used networking. He used the tools he had to network and can get ahead. Like, do you think, like, I think that's the type of individual they're going to go with. Right? Like, maybe if it's like a factory job, or you're correct, like coal mining, but, you know, cushy fucking job, probably not. And this is unfair, but I think it's true. You know.
And hearing from the adults about AI. AI is going to change everything. AI makes you so much more efficient. AI can do it for you. Why would a child invest in learning when every adult around them is saying that machines will do it better? We're creating learned helplessness at scale.
I'm going to start with saying that teachers are not afraid of AI because we hate technology. We are scared because we are watching critical thinking disappear in real time. When I was in high school, my math teachers would say, you got to know how to do this because you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket. Well, guess what?
Yeah, we have calculators, right? And Critical thinking for what? For math problems you're never going to use in your life? Like, how many people do you think, how many adults do you think can take an algebra test, algebra 1, and pass? I think probably like 5, 6, 7% could probably get and I'm talking a passing grade. So like a C or above. I think probably like 7, 8%. Just for sheer dumb. I feel 90% of grown ass adults, at least that I know, I would fucking fail an Algebra 2 test, Algebra 1. Because I never fucking use that information. That doesn't make me money. The only numbers I care about is how much money I'm making and how much money I'm shoving out to make my game and like fucking pay bills. That's the only math I do. And it's like, yeah, we have calculators, we have tools, we and again, if you work a job in a corporate position, you're giving tools to do that job efficiently. Like, we don't live in like the 1950s anymore. Like, you use tools to do your job as efficient. And again, this is what companies want.
I have a calculator in my pocket at all times. But what I've realized is that it's not a fair comparison because calculators replaced computation after we learned how math worked. AI shows up.
No. Like, people been cheating. Like, people cheat. You know, people find out other ways, find workarounds. Like, I think this is like, you'd say, okay, technology allow people to do this, but I think people then finding, like, people either bribe, like, teachers either bribe to the fucking, parents either bribe to the teacher. Like, again, the point is to pass the class. Just like the point of you as the teacher to do your job. But, I mean, maybe you're not effective at it. I mean, I'm not shitting on you. Again, you're also using TikTok. You're also using technology. You probably have a lot of likes and a lot of comments and hearts. I mean, people have been cheating since, like, people have always played systems to get ahead. And this is just what kids are doing. And now they're being given tools to do this.
Before students ever learn how to think through a problem, what we are witnessing is that students are now incapable in sitting in any kind of intellectual discomfort, and that's concerning.
This is what people miss when they compare AI to calculators. It's not just math.
Yeah, I feel like that's just kids being like, bitch, I'm trying to, you demand 8 hours of my goddamn day. And now intellectual discomfort. Like, get me the fuck out of here. I don't want to be here.
It's literally every subject, including thinking itself. And we now have more research on AI and cognition. Students who use AI show weaker reasoning skills. They accept answers without questioning them. Researchers call it cognitive offloading. They develop this pattern of generating first and thinking later.
Yeah, and again, this is probably because they're just being like, okay, use AI to do this thing. And the kids are like, okay, and they use that. It's like, okay, what did the AI say without looking at it? I don't know. I can look at it. Like, if you're just telling someone to do a thing, that again at school, a thing that won't really benefit you in reality, you're going to have people that just use the tool just to get it the fuck over with. And again, if they're not interested, or if they wanted to get the fuck over with, hell, you have like, what, 7, 8 other fucking classes you gotta deal with, right? You don't really have time to work out things. So you just like, okay, I'm gonna allocate this tool to do this, and and again, this is how I thought, I'm allocate this tool, this amount of time to do this. How easy is this class? If it's bum ass easy, I can slink in this class, but then this other class, I have to actually fucking learn, right? Oh, I don't care about fucking math, so I'm gonna go to fucking algebra, right? Like, this is how I thought going through school. And I'm willing to wager a lot of other kids thought this way. But again, now you have literally the inside, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a wealth of knowledge in the palm of your hand called a fucking cell phone and chat GPT. Right? One tool to rule them all. As opposed to going to like Math Wolf to cheat on the class math, or like go to, I don't know, some stupid abstract fucking answer board for science. Like, now you just have a single tool that does it all. I wish I had that.
Really generating first and not thinking at all. And the scary part is these studies are showing cognitive decline in adults. People with fully developed brains. If AI is doing this to adults, then what is it doing to a brain that's still forming? Teachers are responding to the overuse of AI by removing Chromebooks and iPads from the classroom. They're going back to pencil and paper, the method that we've used for hundreds of years, because...
Why?
It actually works. But I want...
So, okay, you're telling me that in a world where all the AI exists, it's going to exist, it's not going to stop existing, there's nothing we can do about it, accept it. In a world where every fucking tool is used against you, God forbid the child uses the tool to benefit them. Like, in a world where everyone else is using social media, using all these things, like these teachers, they're probably making money off their TikToks and all of that, as above teaching. Take a drink. They can do it, it's fine, but no, we need to not teach our kids to operate in a world that has explicitly changed from when we were children, are now not to adapt or to use the tools. Again, like, I'm feeling like it's just, what, you want these kids to be manipulated by the kids that do use these tools, by adults that do use these tools when they grow up? Or are they not allowed to get an edge on this? I mean, I think, again, taking these tools away is just bad, because then, okay, they're living under a rock and they're not given anything, and they don't have any basis on how to use technology to their advantage. You know, and they're not, mentored and explained how to use these to benefit themselves and to make money. You're just taking it away. It's like, again, you're not treating these kids like they're developing, like they're still developing. You're treating them like, no, you're stupid. We know better. We're going to take these things away from you. And I don't agree with that.
To discuss who's actually incentivized to have AI in the classrooms. We already know what social media was designed to do, and we know the future design because Mark Zuckerberg has been quite open about that. He thinks AI can fill the gaps in your friendships. He's exploiting the loneliness caused by his own apps. Then there's no...
But when we grew up, AI wasn't a thing. Like, Facebook was used to augment, social gatherings, it was literally just another image board, right? Where you can message people and talk about things and plan gatherings. Like, that was the original use of Facebook. I mean, now it's something completely different. But so is many other websites. See, they all evolved and adapted to the time. I mean, and of course he's going to fucking use AI. He's a tech bro. Of course he's going to use AI. And okay, he says some goofy techie shit just so, other tech bros can fucking beat their fucking tiny wiener and explode cash and invest into the company. I mean, it's what he's supposed to do. Like, I don't take anything he says really seriously, but he is a smart man. He's a smart salesman.
Shazir. He's the founder of Character AI. In an interview, Shazir said, "I joke that we're not going to replace Google, we're going to replace your mom." He wants his AI chatbot to replace mothers, the person who's supposed to guide you, help you make decisions, and provide you with life advice. He would...
And, I mean, school's not doing that. I mean, a school is just, to be fair, they're just effectively just teaching factory workers. They're making people that work factories. And again, working a factory job, you can make a lot of money, but a lot of people are not going to do that. They're not going to want to do that. Unfortunately, people are going to branch out and do other things. So, okay, you have a system that exists to create factory workers, right? You good, Lucy? She's just fucking walking around. Like, you have a system that exists to just create factory workers. And, people that do the thing that you tell them to do. And they're like, okay, I'm going to use the tool to do the thing that you tell me to do. And, again, I'm not being taught, a way to sort of abstractly understand why I'm learning these things. How I can implement these things. I'm just being taught to do the thing. Okay, I'll do the thing. Sure. Whatever.
Rather his chatbot do that. And then there's Sam Altman. There's always a Sam Altman quote because the man has never received a podcast invitation that he could turn down.
To be fair, this guy's on like everything. Again, perfect marketing tactic. Because I think this is like podcasts attracts a lot of the money-making demographic, which are, middle-aged men. Like, this is the money-making, decision-making demographic. And that's just where he is. I mean, it's a smart move. I mean, I'm not defending any of this. It's like, I'm thinking, if I was in their position, what would I do? What would I say? I'd say the same fucking thing.
People talk about the most personal shit in their lives to ChatGPT. Young people especially, use it as a therapist, a life coach, having these relationship problems. What should I do?
They don't really make life decisions without asking, ChatGPT, what they should do. And it has, the full context on every person in their life and what they've talked about. And
there's young people who just say, I can't make any decision in my life without telling ChatGPT everything that's going on. It knows me. It knows my friends. I'm going to do whatever it says.
Yeah, and again, there used to be third spaces for these, for young guys, the bars, your church, your friend hangout, but there's just not any third spaces for people to do these things, with people that will understand. Nowadays, people just want to get the one up on everybody. You say something personal and it's just now used against you by the same people. And it's like, yeah, I mean, people are going to turn to the tool. When, again, this is people misusing the tool, by the way. Right? The tool's being completely misused this way. You should never use it. But I can understand why.
These CEOs know exactly what they're doing. They're not accidentally replacing critical thinking. They're designing for it. They want users.
No, they just want tech bros to fucking invest money. You know, something they speak out their ass sometimes. And they just understand what's happening with their product and how the users are using them, and they're shit. Like, people would do this with like OnlyFans models, or like, you know, random hookups. They get attached. It's like, you know, I'm just banging you. People do this with fucking anime characters, Dakimakras. I mean, I think we need to attack the issue, which is, why are people turning to these things as opposed to attacking the tool that's being misused, right? Using it as a crutch is misusing the tool. And you can't expect kids not to understand that. You just expect them to be like, okay, you want me to do this? I'll do it. Okay, sure. Want me to fucking do this math test? Okay. ChatGPT, do the math test. Oh, thank you. Alright, done. Now I can go and fucking watch Coco Melon like a fucking brain dead idiot. Like, you know, you shouldn't expect kids to really understand this way of thinking that you're trying to portray to me, the adult.
It's dependent on the chatbot for advice, for decision making, for thinking itself. Because dependency is a business model. In fact, it translates to $20 a month for ChatGPT. But all of this has.
Isn't ChatGPT fucking on fire right now? Because it costs a lot, but they can't really make that money back. And I mean, again, people are going to misuse the fucking tool and suffer because of it. But again, we need to try to ask ourselves, why are people moving to this? Instead of attacking the tool and being like, oh no, the tool's the problem. Because, okay, you don't have that, they'll just turn to some other thing. You know, people would turn to like games, turn to like drugs, crime. You know, if not giving any other option. You know, okay, they're turning to okay, it's not good that they're doing this. You know, some people are suicidal. I don't know how fucking YouTube's going to take that, but it's the truth. I mean, okay, they have a thing that exists, but you want to ban the thing, ban the vice. You don't have a problem with the vice. But you're not going after the reason why kids and why people are turning to these things. And again, obviously the tech fucking bros are going to utilize it to make a profit. They're like companies, they're not moral entities. They're going to do whatever benefits the company. Right? If I was in Mark Zuckerberg's situation, I'd do the same fucking thing.
A societal cost, and we are paying for it.
I don't get to teach. I spend my day managing behaviors and teaching students how to regulate their emotions. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a behavior specialist. I'm a teacher, and most of my job is managing behaviors.
Replace her with someone from the military in a single day, they'd understand. It'd be fixed. Like, again, yet again, using social media, using TikTok, there's a lot of likes, a lot of comments, a lot of probably saves, but I can't see them because the A's in the way. We'll replace this with just some guy from the military. You know, some stoic dude, some, I don't know, drill sergeant maybe. I guarantee you their emotions will be in check. Because she spends her day not even teaching but regulating behavior. Why? Are you incapable? of demanding even the base level of respect from a child? Is that something you can't do? I mean, I don't know. Like, the way it is being described to me, like, maybe I'm supposed to feel empathetic here. But if you're just taking to the internet and demanding, like, you'll want my opinion. I mean, I don't know what happens in the class. Okay, you're coming to me. I'm coming with solutions here.
I just watched a video of a teacher getting pepper sprayed by their student in the school because they took their phone because it was being used to cheat on a test.
She did.
Yeah. Do you think they would pull that with a drill sergeant or with anybody from the military? Do you think someone who goes through pepper spray training, they'd probably take that shit and fucking spray it in their eyes and fucking chrome up with that fucking shit and be like, tastes good. Now, thanks for the phone. Like, teachers aren't, like, built to deal with, unruly and violent students. I do consider pepper spraying an act of violence, right? And mostly it's used for self-defense, but it is an act of violence. Like, teachers, they're not trained to deal with that.
Didn't sign up for this. None of them did.
Yeah.
Teachers go into the profession with the expectation that they will teach, similar to how their teachers taught them. They didn't realize that they would be managing behaviors because they're not behavioral therapists. But today, that's what the job entails. Severe breakouts, tremors, daily anxiety attacks, crying before work, crying after work, dreading the
Is this someone? Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at her. Someone like that. Do you think she can demand respect from her students? I think abso-fucking-lutely not. You wouldn't be in this position if you could.
drive in, bringing work home because there's not enough time to do your job at your job. The data shows teacher shortages were being reported on back in 1998, but back then it was fewer than 30% of states. Fast forward to today, and it's 86% of school districts that can't fill their positions.
Well, again, okay, to be fair, a lot of, there's a lot of positions that just been cut. Like, in our school, JROTC have just been cut from us, have been cut. They're like, we need money, but we don't have it. We're cutting it, moving it to Harrison. So I was like, so you're cutting positions that can teach students discipline. And this is high school, right? JROTC, so it's freshman year. You're cutting positions that can teach kids these things, at least in our situation. And again, I doubt this actually goes into the weeds of the type of positions being cut. It just says that, positions have been cut. But, I mean, they're being taught things that don't benefit them. Again, shortage, widespread, particularly acute to some subject areas. The top what are the top subject areas? You gotta tell us what they are. Because from what I see, shortage prone areas, subject 14 subject areas are identified as likely to experience shortage. Covering data covering placement. Again, what are the subjects? I'd like to know. I mean, do I want to put Fuck it, bro. Fine. Fuck it. I ain't editing this. 5 fucking people Google this shit gonna fucking probably see this video. Top 10 subject areas cut in schools since, probably spelled that wrong, 1998. I'm not using ChatGPT for this. Oh, I wish there was a zoom in function, man. Okay, so let's give this just the first graph. The first graph. Let's give this a watch or a look. So, business, economics, physical education, religious studies, social studies, computer science, information technology. I mean, these have kind of converged, but a lot of these have sort of risen and dropped. But now we're getting into 20. Like, by shit, a lot of them are just fucking gone. Or barely existing. Like, these are things that benefit. Like, these benefit students. Like, business benefits students. Like, what type of curriculum collected over here and knowledge? And this is just the first thing I fucking clicked on. Okay, this is the UK. There we go. I mean, let's look at something else. That's the UK.gov. I don't fucking care about no damn British. Let's type in America. College. No, I'm interested in this. You gotta understand, I was one of the kids that fucking hated school. I fucking hated school, bro. So what does this say? They had to use some weird fucking colors in this shit. Physical education or health, foreign language, science. Was in high school. Cut. But you understand, why am I having to figure these things out? Energy, engineering, biology. Like, these are a lot of things that you can actually go into and make a lot of money. Spending. What the fuck is this? You know what? Fuck it. I'm using ChatGPT. Fuck it. See, this is what you do to me, right? This is what you're making me do this. You're forcing my hand. See what happened when I used the goddamn Google. I'm getting like a 90 different fucking things. Yeah, I mean, you got me using ChatGPT. You got me using ChatGPT. You happy? You happy? Come here, ChatGPT. Let me put this away so I don't show my porn. I mean, what? That never happened. This is a long video that no one gonna watch, but fuck it, bro. Yeah, let's give this a look. Here's novel education news modernized just since the 1990s. Logging under budget pressure, prioritizing education investment for years. Visual arts, art class, drawing, painting, sculpting. Again, this is the thing that, technology, if you're good at, you can make a lot of fucking money if you're good at it. Like video games, like, for fuck's sakes, you can make a lot. Music arts and performance arts. Again, entertainment is probably one of the biggest things. Physical education, you gotta be fucking healthy. Social studies, history, civics, these are things you gotta learn so you can understand if people are using things and emotional manipulation on you. Foreign languages, yeah, I can kind of fucking understand that. Again, English is the top language. Vocational, technical skills, shop, industrial arts, like metalworks. To be fair, a lot of you don't really need these because a lot of them are assisted by technology. And back then, a lot of these, were hazardous until you had technology, and a lot of these things work side by. And again, there are situations where technology have replaced the jobs of people. I ain't shitting on that. Home economics, families, consumer science. I mean, these teach discipline. I took a course in these. It was actually interesting, but this teach, I know a lot of old people that like sewing and cooking and budgeting is a skill that will always benefit you. Typing clashes as in favor of computer instructions. Yeah, again, replaced by technology. Cursive, absolute waste of my fucking time. I really only know how to write my name in cursive. Elective enrichment course, creative writing, debates. Yeah, I mean, these are good because as a functioning adult, you need to understand when tools and people are trying to manipulate you to get either your vote or to make you do something they want you to do or to put something onto you. Why would you get rid of this? And again, if you want to be a politician, to be fair, someone like, I don't know, fucking Obama has teams of people that teaches them how to talk, what hand gestures to use, which facial expressions, what type of wording. I mean, but they probably make a lot of fucking money. See, if you knew this, brother, and again, a lot of those people are probably in their 50s and 60s, so they probably went through these classes and are making a lot of fucking money. Well, now you understand why a lot of these older fucking people in politics, right, are fucking good at manipulating you, and they can get into positions where they don't fucking care about the new generation. You're not being taught this shit, right? All it takes is just a couple of goofballs with a fucking phone that actually tells people what they want to hear. you know, tell people the truth as opposed to, you know, the good little words they say. You know, trying to look good. Like, and it's unfortunate, but looking good, looking right is more important than sounding right. Why? Because I understand that it says like disability. Yeah, again, the No Child Left Behind Act completely destroyed these things. Budget pressure that wanted to save money. Tax pressure. And again, and all these make sense. Right? And, I mean, like, you're looking at all these things, you're like, yeah, these are skills that are used against you by the people that had these skills in school. Like, why do I need to look this shit up, bro? And this is gonna be an hour-long video, but fuck it. I'm uploading this shit to the 5 people that are gonna watch it. Like, god damn. Fuck.
30% of states. Fast forward to today, and it's 86% of school districts that can't fill their positions. 86% is a collapse, not a shortage.
To be fair, if you're actually intelligent in your field, you're not going to be a teacher. I guarantee you. Like, an instructor in college, maybe. Professor, maybe. You ain't gonna be no teacher. You're paid actual fucking pennies on the dollar. Like, you get what you pay for, and they're getting teachers to just, you know, do the job. And just barely, and that's what they're getting. I mean, and again, to be fair, if you're gonna cut electives and shit that actually benefit students, that one are fun, right? I enjoyed economics. I fucking enjoyed like current events and social studies. These were fun. You can rack your brain. I don't fucking care about no algebra. I don't give a shit. Right? And again, the teachers of these, they were also pretty fucking chill. I mean, they're not teaching you just the book. You can't teach kids just you can teach kids just the book if for algebra, right? Or English. But you can't really do that for economics and budgeting and home ec. It's like, no, you kind of gotta put a little bit of more emphasis on it.
411,000 teaching positions are either empty or filled by someone who isn't fully qualified. As a result of having less staff and more students,
yeah, and it's because a lot of them do it virtually. And again, I shit on them demanding 8 hours. I should quit fucking pausing. But again, something I'm surprisingly interested in. Like, this sparked an interest in me. I seen this and I was like, someone gave me that, like, I gotta do a video on this. And like, then I lost my train of thought again. I did. It happened again. But I need to stop pausing.
Students with behavioral issues, teachers are burning out. In fact...
Oh yeah, like, a lot of them are moving online, so a lot of kids aren't actually going to a physical fucking classroom, interacting with other fucking students. You know, they're not getting that socialization in the class. Like, because again, part of school is the socialization and the integration of, you know, social beings into a social system. You know, it's not just teaching them to do a thing, teaching them how to learn. Like, it is being social. And this has come from someone He was probably the most antisocial by design. Like, yeah, your child has to be socialized into the system. The good and the bad. Like, you need to know how to deal with bullies. You need to know how to deal with systems that, to get ahead that are primarily against you. You'll be dealing with things like these till you're 60-year-old, retired, pissing and shitting on yourself, and you don't gotta fucking deal with it anymore. Like, that's how long you'll be dealing with these things. So you either understand how to do that, or, I don't know, you're taken advantage by kids that do. I mean, it's really just that fucking simple. I mean, I don't really know how else to put this. This is how I'd explain it to my fucking child. Look, you don't have to leave. I'd absolutely send them to public school. It's a perfect experience. You need to understand how to get ahead, you little fucking idiot. If you're not going to do that, hey, I did my best. And again, if my child's making money at 13, hey, I do believe I was an amazing parent. Yeah, against all odds, against all anyone else will say. You can't say I was a bad parent.
Teachers have the highest burnout rates of all industries, with 44% reporting always or very often feeling burned out. This clip says, how it feels going to sleep tonight knowing that I don't have to wake up tomorrow and teach children because I quit my teaching job in the middle of the year. We can go to the comments. What are you doing instead? Asking for me. Currently in class and just letting them talk over me because I'm tired of it already. What do you do now? I went out of education. Quitting teaching was the best decision of my life. You won't regret it.
Yeah, and again, these are the teachers you gotta contend with. Teachers that cannot impose authority. The children understand that. The children walk all over them, right? Do you think a teacher that can impose authority, can do his job, actually is a benefit to the students? I don't know if he likes the job or not, but he will do it. Do you think, or he or she will do it? Do you think someone like that hates the job, or will go home feeling unfulfilled as this individual? Right, currently in class, literally while she's in class, just texting this shit.
This is honestly terrifying, seeing how many teachers wanting to quit. Teachers deserve better than this. The comments are filled with teachers who want out or teachers who have already left, and it's the best decision they made.
Yeah, I do believe the system itself, again, you're not incentivized to go above and beyond. You're incentivized to just do the job, and if it doesn't really matter if you're good or bad at it. Again, we all know good teachers. We all know bad teachers, and you don't go into teaching because you like it or because you want to make money. You do it because you want to do it. Like, you have some sort of drive to do it. Would I be able to do it? I don't know. I mean, I'm making a video game. Do I want to teach that to kids, college kids? Maybe. I mean, I guess I can, but is this a curriculum colleges will teach? No. The step-by-step on how to do it. They will teach the programmers how to program, or the visual artists how to visual art, but they don't teach the steps on, okay, I want to make a game, but I have no fucking clue where to start. And I guess I'm qualified for that.
By the way, this video was posted 1 week ago. It has over 2 million views and over 292,000 likes.
Yeah. She's using a fucking tool. That's a lot of likes. You can make money off that. You, the teacher, doing that thing. I mean, I get it. There's a point trying to be made, but all I see is, I see the teacher using this tool and making money, and I mean, I guess she probably make as much, if not more, money than she'd make as a teacher, complaining about her teaching. But I don't know. I don't think that's the point you're making.
The algorithm found every burnt out teacher in America.
I live like this. So that my students can live like this.
Yeah, and to be fair, these aren't unattractive ladies. Like, am I about to... Am I going to be sexist again? God, I can't be double sexist. I mean, obviously... what's the demographic of fucking people on TikTok? Zoomer guys and women that just needs that fix. Probably some of the fucking kids that are using TikToks and these apps. And there's attractive women on there. I mean, of course. Of course. And I ain't even saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying, hey, shout out. Shout out to my middle-aged women using TikTok teachers that probably make more money off TikTok than they ever did teaching. You know, I just don't understand why we're taking these tools that you're using away from the kids. You know, instead of guiding them with these tools and be like, okay, here's how you use it to get ahead. Here's how you use it to make money. Here's how you use it, you know, not as a crutch and not as your fucking girlfriend and shit.
So how can I afford to do this on a teacher's salary? The answer is I can't. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I am beyond broke.
These are the people that we're losing. Teachers who are willing to live paycheck to paycheck to nurture the next generation. A survey found nearly 97% of teachers use their own money to buy classroom supplies.
Yeah, I think that is some bullshit. I think, one, the school should provide, but two, who all knows that one teacher that you get so much knowledge and so much real world knowledge from without writing a single fucking thing on a paper, right? Because they just aren't knowledgeable people and can explain things in a way that you understand. Like, everyone has that one teacher. You can't have that. I think this need for more money, it's noble, because, I mean, shit's expensive. Like, you need money. But, again, how does the Amish do it? How does every other country on the first world nation on the planet teach their younger generation in a way that benefits them within the system they operate in? But we can't do that as one of the richest nations on the planet. You know, living better than 70% of people in the world. Again, if we can't do that, there's a failure somewhere. I don't think it's the teachers, but I think it's the system. Because it's cutting curriculums that can actually benefit the fucking children and teaching them shit that they don't really benefit from, at least past a certain curriculum, unless they're going into like engineering or becoming a math teacher themselves. Like, it doesn't really benefit the majority of kids.
Teachers earning between $35,000 to $50,000 are spending $700 out of pocket each school year for kids to have pencils. Critical thinking is becoming a class marker who can actually question things. But this is to be expected. For years, education has been systematically devalued, defunded, and deprioritized. But who
and I agree, right? But again, what is because no one really knows the benchmark of education. Everyone just thinks you just throw money at it and it just fixes it, and I don't think it works that way. Again, and this goes back to what I said in the near the beginning of the video. Like anyone from the military, just choose anyone. Or fuck, dude, choose fucking previous criminals. Oh my god, there's that one fucking show where they would send kids into fucking prisons and like actual inmates, and they'd get up in their face and shit and they'd break down. Like, that is a learning experience. Fuck, bro. Like, previous gang members, you could probably learn so fucking much from how systems work, from how to avoid things, from like previous criminals, military men, people that were in the military, veterans, people that were in gangs. Like, these are people that lived pretty harsh lives, and that they have some wisdom behind their eyes, and that rather you agree or disagree with their life choices, rather you like or dislike them, you can't diss the grind. You can't really diss, their failures and them rising above it. And they have a lot to impose on kids outside of knowing fucking like algebra or trigonometry, things that they're not going to fucking care about. Right? Like, we had a teacher that learned, we were in what's his name? He passed away. He was such a good teacher, but he knew the system. He's like, I've been working here for 30 freaking years. I'm making 60 grand. They can just fire me, hire someone else, save 30 grand. Like, again, he's existing within a system. He understands what's happening, and he'll straight up tell you. Like, we were kids too, listening to him talking about, like, yeah, they can just kick my ass out, fucking and save 30 grand. Like, of course they're gonna fucking do it. That's the system exists to do. Like, pay any veteran, pay them, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, because of, probably like, I'd say 60 or 70 because of their previous experience. I guarantee you, them kids will be like, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Like, they put their phones the hell away. I guarantee.
Really benefits from a population that can't read, can't write, can't think critically, and ask questions. These same tech companies creating these problems are selling the solution. The same government that claims prosperity is defunding schools, while at the same time using our tax dollars to build yet another AI data center.
Again, you're kind of coming at it loaded, right? Because, again, I don't think the AI is the problem or the system's the problem. I think being incapable of adapting to your current situation, like, that's the problem. Kids are not taught to adapt, to figure these things out, to navigate these things and be like, how do I get ahead? This does not strike me as someone that, can instill discipline on students. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Just off the what? I'm stereotyping. Yes. But again, it's just, I don't know why people just don't teach kids to adapt in these situations, how to use tools to benefit them. They want to take away the tools, they want to think they know better.
Educator on this app is talking about, and what every educator in the field is noticing, is a dramatic decline in basic...
Never mind, he's in the Marines. I think he does. I think he does.
Critical reasoning skills and basic literacy skills among students. This is particularly pronounced among high school age students, where they're engaging with more complex material and can't...
Is he a student?
Can't grasp basic concepts or manage basic memory about those concepts. And what this is creating is a...
Yeah, because again, you're not teaching them how that is applied to benefit them. You're saying, okay, figure this out. Okay, what'd you learn? Not a fucking thing, because I did what you said.
Generation entering the workforce without basic comprehension skills that is going to make it very hard for them to keep and maintain any form of employment. On the end...
But again, a lot of kids are also just not smart, and they don't operate in situations like these, but they're fine with operating with their hands, right? Like, we're casting a very broad net. This is the end of the video. I don't need to over examine this now.
First of this, we're seeing kids in more affluent families being not only pulled out of the public school system and sent to things like Montessori schools, but being pulled away from technology, not given access to anything more than, say, a TV or a video game station until they're a teenager. No tablets, no phones, things like that. And what they're doing to fill their time instead is the normal childhood stuff of playing outside, reading a book, coloring sheets, all of these things that seem like play but are actually building soft skills that makes...
Yeah, I mean, and when I grew up, video games was the scare, right? But video games also build comprehension in kids. I mean, they're also fun, and you can also, there's also risks to that. But again, are we going to throw the tool away because a couple people are misusing it? I mean, is that a smart way to go about it? I mean, I guess if you think you know better, probably. But again, just broad
someone much better able to navigate.
Again, some kids work better with their hands. Some are good at managing things. Some are good at managing. Some are good at applying people, but they're not really good at the technical things. A lot of them are good at the technical things, but not good at leadership. Others are good at it. Again, you need to place people where they work best instead of trying to throw them all under this umbrella and demanding they work their way up. Because a lot of people, that's just not how they operate. You know, and maybe it's a mental thing, but I mean, it's just the way it is. And again, technology is a tool that can circumvent a lot of shortcomings if used correctly, but we're acting like the tool's the problem.
World around them as they get older. The gap is not going to be who can use AI and who cannot. The gap is not going to be who is an all-star on the ACT with a full ride and who is not. The gap is going to be who can reason in a basic way and who cannot. And those that cannot will probably be left behind.
Yeah, to be fair, schools don't really teach you to do that. I mean, they teach you systems of replication of the knowledge that you, or of the things you see, but does it really teach critical thinking? Not to the extent of, you know, a lot of things being cut that require it, like budgeting, you know, like debates, things that have been cut. And I don't know what the problem really is, but I know it's not really AI. AI is this mitigating factor, you know, a means for kids to get ahead and to move forward And they're treating it, again, a child is using it exactly the way a child would use it. Like, they're not dumb. They know what they're doing. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, fuck. I keep accidentally fucking clicking on that shit. But anyway, let's look at the comments. I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. John D. Rockefeller. And again, a lot of people, there's going to be people that are the thinkers and are the workers. The thing is allocating these people in ways that benefit the community and benefit the nation. We're witnessing a collapse of thinking, not just education. I do agree with this. Like, the amount of manipulative tactics that are used, and again, people do fall for these tactics. It's almost like they gladly fall for these manipulative tactics. Like, the amount of them being utilized, even today, is astonishing. Literally, what possessed anyone to give these children iPads or phones? What pathetic waste of a parent would let their toddler have unrestricted access to the internet, destroying their lives before they even begin? Again, blaming the fucking parent. I do believe if you use it just to keep the child occupied and from bothering you, sure. But again, in school, they're using it exactly the way they're supposed to. Children do not have fully developed reasoning abilities, to be fair. Neither do most adults. Yeah. Yeah, but again, the child, they're knowing, alright, you're giving me this, I will use it to my benefit. And that's what they're doing. Like, kids are crafty. Like, it's odd because, you know, as an adult, you'll learn certain skills, but there's things that you could do as a kid. Like, there are games I could beat as a child I could never beat as an adult. System is working as the rich elite intended. Uneducated people won't think critically and fight for their rights. I mean, again, if enough of the uneducated people find out that they're being misrepresented and utilized, I mean, they may make it right. Again, if you're being irrational towards them, they might be irrational right back at you. Among the blind, the one-eyed is king. What the fuck, bro? Fucking cringe shit. I mean, you're right. Cringe. Obviously, the blame should be on the parents, not the kids. It's their responsibility. I mean, I think to an extent, yeah. But in class, I mean, the child's doing what they're supposed to do, and the teacher's letting them. But Rondo has electrolyte. God, true, bro. Idiocracy is happening right before our eyes. No. Hitting AI game ad during this video is dystopian. I don't know. Never have. I mean, that's fucking wild. I mean, hey, YouTube throws that shit on you. I guess the reason why children of the rich is in schools where AI teach tech is banned. Yeah, I mean, because they're taught things like their parents pay premium dollar to be taught things on how to actually get ahead in life. Again, you get what you pay for, and it's working. The rich gets richer and more powerful while everyone else gets poorer and dumber. I mean, there are ways for even you as a nobody to enrich yourself. Start your own business. But to an extent, you're correct. Listen to this in the background while getting ready for my first day in the classroom as a teacher. Pray for me. Fat. But anyway, again, I don't really agree. I agree that there is a problem. I don't exactly agree with where we're shoving the blame. Because, again, what do you expect a child to do? Like, you expect them to just use whatever tools they need to use to just get the thing over with. Which, to be fair, is intelligent on this part of the child. The fact that they can utilize the tool. Like, that's just the beginning right there. Again, but so it's up to you to be like, okay, so are you going to use this as a crutch? Because if you do, you're going to suffer and you're going to be without it and you're not going to understand. But if you take the tools that benefit you and shove out the things that don't, I mean, you'll get ahead of all the other fucking kids that want to revert back to fucking caveman. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. I'm tired. Peace!